one. Yeah! To the left. To the right. Back then, fine. Oh, bro, nuts right. To the toes. Grab a chair, grab your pins. Every chance I get. That's because my wife's in the room. So, I think I've probably had a chance, and maybe it's maybe half the people in the room. For those we have not met, I'm Kent. I'm with ActionCOACH for 8 years now. This is my wife Bev, she's in the room as well. Moral support. I'm happy to tell you that she taught me everything I know. Those are my family. Crystal and Sunshine made a funny joke. There's like, what's the number one question you get asked? The number one question I get asked is, are all those kids from the same marriage? So I've learned in my scripting, so my daughters are now 19, 16, my boys are 4 and 7. When I tell my scripting and my story now, the number one thing on the slide is always been married for 20 years. It helps a little bit to suggest, yes, been married for 20 years and we do have 4 kids. What do I want to cover today? We've spent the last 4 days learning, jamming stuff in your head. When Angie and the team invited me to speak and she sent out the calendar, it was like, I'm the last speaker. Huh. What value? So the question for me and the people I talked to in putting this together was, what value, what can I help all of you guys in the room do? 4 days of learning, sitting on your ass. I mean, really, like, who's done learning? Whose head hurts? Oh, come on, you're all lying. Put your hands up. I know I am. My arse hurts. My head hurts. And that was not the booze last night. I stayed and went to bed early last night. Ask her. Okay? My head hurts. I've probably taken 60 pages of notes. Who has more than 5 pages of notes? Okay? This is my 15th or 16th conference now. So I'm trying to think of the people in the audience when I'm putting my script together today. I'm going, how can I help them? What can they possibly learn from me, or what can I help them focus on? So I started thinking about the challenges I have when I go back to conference. One of the tricks that I always do, it doesn't make my wife very happy, but I always take a day. So conference is done today. Her and I will spend the day together tomorrow. I don't go home until late Monday. I will literally lock myself in a hotel room, or I'll find a coffee shop, and I will take all my notes out. There's a bunch of 5-minute items that you just do. Because trust me, with 4 kids at home, when I land, it's go time. Hockey, school, all of it. So I take that day, decompress, rest, go through my notes. But part of what I wanted to work on with you today is that inner saboteur. It's not about today, it's about tomorrow when you land. It's helping all of you execute that action plan. Who created a to-do list? Okay, so that's really my focus today. The second part of that focus is in helping you tackle that to-do list. Is there a tool I can give you that you can take back and share with your clients? Those are my objectives for today. So we got some new thoughts today, and we've all seen these slides. We've all been through training. We learned some new things. We have some new thoughts. Does anybody have a process for deciding what to do and what not to do? A couple people? Okay, yeah. People who've been around for more than a couple of years, right? I do. It was probably one of the things I learned 3.5, 4 years ago is stop doing stuff. I was actually very fortunate. I learned that my wife had gotten me an iPad. My laptop was sort of broken, so I sent it away. I went a month without doing email. Oh. Guess what? The world didn't end. I managed to get by. I did it on my BlackBerry. And yes, BlackBerry back then, I know. Saying the word, I'm sorry. But from that point on now, for 36, 40 months, I find a different activity to stop doing in my calendar each month. If something breaks, then I put it back in. If it falls apart, I put it back in. But if nothing changes, really that important to keep doing? So I want to help you do some assessment, maybe shorten up that to-do list, maybe find 5 or 6 more important things to do, but more importantly, I want to focus on that your saboteur. Help you identify it. So right now at your tables, take out that giant to-do list. Okay? Take 3 or 4 minutes, take out that giant to-do list. Read through it. I know. We're tired. Oh, Joey's already packed her bag. Now she's got to dig it out. Come up with 5. Go through that list and focus on the 5, right now, the 5 most important things. If you need some hints, look around the room. We have all these wonderful samples of Brad's handwriting. Was it something you heard from Jonathan McDonald way back on Wednesday? Was it these slides from Brad on Wednesday afternoon? Talking about fear, mind, positioning. Maybe for the newer coaches, it had something to do with sales. You took out 2 or 3 new to-do items from Mr. Gittimer. How about Doug on $1 Million Mindset? Or Rob, positioning yourself and increasing that lid. Maybe we'll take the lid right off. Maybe it was this morning with Marshall Silver. Maybe the one thing on the to-do list is find a way, put the money account, and come back to Vegas in 2 weeks to attend his workshop. Show of hands, who has their 5? 5 top priorities. Okay? Keep going. The next 45 minutes will be very boring if you don't have those 5 picked out. Kind of important, and now you have it. One and a half more minutes. I still have paper, which is good. Just dawned on me in the work. Normally I do workshops back home. I found a little Bluetooth device that I put in the music players. So I can be walking up around here and playing music and stopping music. And she's fighting it because I've unplugged her iPod. I put it in my phone. Why isn't it playing? Okay? All right, let's wrap it up. So let's think about global. Think about that to-do list. What do you want to get accomplished in the next 5 months? Forget 5 years. Forget 12 months from now. Forget Business Excellence Forum 10 months from now. Focus on 5, 1 per month. Pick that number for a reason. Okay? Think August. I want to increase your chances of getting those 5 things done. I'm going to do that in 4 simple steps. Okay? Read them out with me. What are the 4 simple steps? Identify the behavior and actions of the saboteur that you would like to eradicate. Okay, number 2. Where in your physiology does the behavior? Number 3. Get feedback. And then 4. Take action. Okay? So what we're going to do is, you may have a behavior, a significant behavior in life that you need to eradicate, that we're not going to solve here today. So that step 4, that action plan, is going to deal with that one thing that you want to change. We're going to see if we can get to some others here. So, what is a saboteur? Quite simply from the word sabotage. In a workplace setting, sabotage is a conscious withdrawal of efficiency, who engages in sabotage is a saboteur. Saboteurs typically try to conceal their identities because of the consequences of their actions. I see a lot of thinking faces. Show of hands, who's got one of those in your life? And who stares at that person every day in the morning? Yeah, absolutely, we all do. This is part of our demons. This is what we're going to try and fix today. Okay? Absolutely, I can. Yeah. Man, taking notes has changed a lot in 20 years since I was in university. Phones out, iPads out, scratching notes. Okay, we're all, a couple more pictures, okay? So then, what's success? The favorable or prosperous termination of an attempt or endeavor. The accomplishment of one goal. Okay? So we have the 5 things that we want to get done before the Bahamas, implemented in our business. Bali, sorry, Christmas? Yeah, something we had. Okay? Angie's been on a rampage. Jeremy's been on a rampage. Action coaching fitness is all over the place. Okay? Who's ever quit exercising? Yes, we all have. Start, stop, okay? What are the top 5 reasons why we quit exercising? Time. It takes a lot longer than they expected. I didn't get the results I wanted. Okay? Effort. Harder than expected, not worth the effort. Distraction. My favorite. Life happened. Something happened in your life that caused you to stop exercising for a period of time. Now you have to restart. Reward. They didn't get the response they were looking for from others. They were looking for external validation. It didn't come, so therefore they quit. Last one. Maintenance. Once we hit the goal, we forget how hard it is to stay there. Does this sound like anything quitting in our business? They're all the same, aren't they? I want to add a 6th one though. We'll go into a little more detail. But that's the same reason why our clients quit coaching, isn't it? If we go back, have we heard any of those when a client quits? All of them at some point. I know I have. Okay? How about ourselves? Whether it be exercising, whether it be a relationship, whether it be something new in the office. There's only 5. I'm going to add a 6th one later on in the workshop here. What time? When it comes to quitting coaching, I had no idea this process would take so long. I'm not sure it's worth it. So when we get these questions and answers from our clients, think about that inner saboteur and find a way that you can help your client slay that inner saboteur and take their business and themselves to the next step. Difficulty, distractions. I'd really like to work toward my goal, but my company is facing a unique challenge right now. It might be better if I just stopped in the business at a time when things weren't so crazy. Right? A good friend of mine told me once, my favorite one I hear that is perfect. This is the best time to start coaching. They go, why? I'm too busy. Yes. This is the most important time for us to test and measure what is really important in your business. Because I know that you are a doer, you will get the right things done. This is the best time to put the boat in the water and actually measure how good your sales are. The sales of your boats. So when they give you that excuse, don't take it. Because they are better when they're busy. And you're going to get a better chance to actually understand what the most important things are in their business. Reward. 90 days, start to have those conversations. Some of this stuff takes time. Okay? What rewards are they looking for? As Dan put it a couple days ago, do you have that weekly win sheet? Are you documenting the little wins every week with the clients? Sometimes it takes 90 days to get a financial return on investment coaching, 120 days. Are you measuring the little wins every day? How about your business? Whether we're starting up or in year 8.1, are you measuring the wins every day to keep yourself motivated? Maintenance. My last one, number 6. Ownership. People quit because they're just not taking ownership. I wasn't sure this coaching idea would work in the first place. I tried it out. Didn't do that much. Substitute anywhere in there the task you want. Coaching, exercise, diet, habit. Plug and play. It works for all of them. Okay? Anybody remember what that line's for?
Above and below. Choice.
Okay. What do they say? But that last one, ownership, covers them all. When you're thinking of taking your foot off the gas, when you're thinking of giving up, when you're thinking of changing gears, don't. Keep on. Okay? Maintenance? That is in the creative responsible. Time and rewards, it's in blame. Alright. Step one. How do we identify the inner saboteur? Okay? At your tables right now by yourself, come up with a list of things that typically distract you. Let me use this. Thank you. Don't forget to include Facebook, Twitter, Candy Crush, my favorite. I like Twitter. Your kids, spouses, business partners, employees, okay? Everything in your life that causes you to lose focus. Keep writing. Who likes new gadgets? Yeah, okay. Those are distractions? Do we have any furniture rearrangers in the room? Furniture rearrangers? Some people like rearranging their office? No? No furniture rearrangers? Oh, there's one. Does everybody have 3 or 4 or 5? At least 5? Okay. Now, Sheriff, make your list bigger, because I know for sure in 3 minutes your list isn't long enough. Take a couple more minutes, share them at the table. If you're brave enough. If you're brave enough. Give everybody a chance to share. Go all around the table.
Which will be good and bad.
Okay, start to wrap it up. All right, back front, please. What's that? Yes, please. Yep. Let's get them stand at the table. So everybody's ready, come on. Who had a really good one? Who's got the best excuse?
He does.
Okay, Juan's got the best excuse apparently. We're going to share some, because I know we didn't come up with a good enough list on our own. We need a little help here.
You will not believe this. Joke management.
Joke management. I'm not surprised to actually hear that from you. You always have a new one for me.
Yeah.
Joke management. I'm interpreting that to mean that he actually finds and develops jokes to share with people.
I trade about. I trained about 800 salespeople in my career. To keep the bond, we exchange jokes. Salespeople have always good jokes. Still now, 12 years after I left the corporation, I still receive him and the good ones I will send out.
That is absolutely spectacular.
Who wants to be in the circus?
Laurie.
I'm one of these guys that I'll go to Facebook and then you get onto one article and then there's another one and then there's another one and then there's another one and I end up reading about pets and then the next thing you know I'm YouTube watching cats get scratched and doing all things like that. So that's kind of. I got an app on my phone that actually going to time how much time I waste.
Are you gonna do it? Do it right now. Come on. While we're listening, we'll as part of your exercise, we'll count in minutes.
I'll be happy to wait.
No, Bill. Oh, you want to do it?
Okay.
You want to look at your app?
No, I have it, I have not.
Oh, it's there.
There is a great app, by the way, that tracks what you do on your computer while you're doing it. And email me and I'll try to figure it out if I find it. Which brings me to my time waster, which is technology and free software demos. I'll sit there, what am I doing? I'm making a Prezi, I'm learning about Calendly, I'm putting 7 different things together, and I'm just like, and none of them were on my priority list that day, and it didn't cost me any money, so I don't think about it, but it cost me time.
Awesome. 3 more, please.
People are my biggest distraction.
People.
If I can do a coaching call, a diag, a coach on deck, some kind of meeting, anything where I'm with a live person, yeah, I am all over that. And it's a real distraction from doing marketing and the things that get me in front of people.
Awesome. You want to get out more people, but it affects your marketing to get in front of more people. I love that one. The next couple slides are going to be fun. Thank you.
I also have the PC issues thing, right? Whatever happens on my PC, if something's going on, oh, that wasn't right. I got to go figure out why it wasn't right before I can actually go on to the next thing rather than just go on to the next thing and go, okay, call my PC guy to come and fix it.
Awesome. Okay, one last one.
I'm a workshopaholic. I just enjoy creating, tweaking workshop, coming up with another workshop. When I have a minute, I dive into creating another workshop. So I'm a workshopaholic.
Awesome. Round of applause, please, people. Be brave enough to share. Those are pretty good. Thank you. Okay. Now, what's going to be your number one reason that's going to keep you from accomplishing those 5 things when you get back to the shop? When you're sitting at your desk Monday morning, Tuesday morning, of the 5 you just came up with, what's going to be yours? Okay? Circle it, change the color pen, highlight it, write it down. So what's going to be the number one distraction for you that you want to eradicate?
Can I eradicate my kids?
And no, my wife cannot eradicate my kids.
Yeah, there are laws against that.
One. Pick one. The exercise you can do on all 4, but if we focus on one, we get a better chance of success. Does everybody have a favorite one, the one they want to get rid of? Okay. The number one reason we are going to fail when we get back is not that excuse. It's going to be a part of it, but 30% of us won't take action. We will have a massive list. There are plenty of things to do. And as Marshall Goldsmith said last year, the year before, is we all have more than enough knowledge. I don't know, 75, 80 different pieces of paper on the wall. We each have 50, 60, 75 pages of notes. We have the knowledge. We've spent 10 days in ActionCOACH training. We have coaches, mentors. You need an action plan. Okay? So don't forget that when you get back, you do, this is participation. This is a life sport. This is a contact sport. We all need to take more action. Is there any better one than this? We all understand that being grossly overweight is bad for our health. But a large portion of society does nothing about it. Knowledge is not the issue. It's a lack of action. Okay? Most of you understand what you need to do. I want to help you do it, and we'll do that by eliminating that one excuse. Okay? So we're going to locate that saboteur. So We now have our favorite distraction. I'm going to tell you some stories. You have your own stories, okay? I had a client, let's call him John. His coaching session was at 9 in the morning. A lot of times him and his team were there early. I'd roll in, they're standing in the parking lot talking. Now, good friend of mine, great client, great results. And what was interesting is an hour would go by, I'd do a couple more coaching sessions and have to go do an errand. He's still on the street with his two managers talking, sharing stories. I'm confused. I let this go for a couple of weeks. I mean, this is a small company, got 5, 6 staff, and these are the owner plus 2 of the top high-performing people on the team, standing around for 3 or 4 hours midweek. Huh. So, started asking questions. Billable hour efficiency. These are tradespeople. Billable hour efficiency. Where are we tracking? What are the results? Okay? So think about that fellow's story. Okay? Another client. 2 years in the program. Started working with me in their logistics and planning. Started at 2.2 million. Within 24 months, we got him to just north of 4 million. Okay? Worst and best success story. One of my favorites and worst. Coming up on the 3-year anniversary, I asked them a question. Okay? They had hired an operations manager in Edmonton. Got him up and running. We have a great operations manager. We had a salesperson. He's working less than 3 days a week. So I said, when are you going to be ready? How long do you think it's going to take for this thing to work without you, where you can be unemployed with a paycheck? His answer is 3 to 5 years. Okay? Here's my theory. Unfortunately, we may have to let the salesperson go, because the way the business works is we onboard about $400,000 or $500,000 work. It takes about 6 months to solidify it. Then we can get more sales. So let's get an operations manager who's got some sales experience. We'll back off the sales bit. We'll bring in do sales 1 day a week, do operations 3 days a week. We take the salary we're currently paying the salesperson to give the operations manager. How long before we can get that up and running and you can be unemployed with a paycheck? He quit 30 days later. He was 36, 37. Okay? Think about that story. Okay? Some of you know my story. Know my story. Giving myself permission. 3.5, 4 years back, I've come to all of these, and my revenue bounced from 15,000, 20, 25,000, up, down, scattered, do some marketing, not do some stuff. Was working with Steve Leach at the time, and he asked a really good question. Who do you look up to? Like, you're obviously stuck. Who do you look up to? Who do you admire in the ActionCOACH system? So I listed a couple of names, and I went, is that who you want, like, what is the issue? Is that who you want to be? And I went, no. There were some people at the top of the organization that were the top performers that I didn't admire. I went, okay, so your homework this week, for the next 2 weeks, is look at everybody on the top 100 list. There has to be some